This is the Joy at Work podcast, and I'm Lucia Knight. Here's what I'm seeing, and I really want you to see it too. Chronic boredom at work is at epidemic levels. This year, I conducted the biggest piece of research since I wrote my book. And from that research came a report called the Midlife Work-Life Satisfaction Report. And it involved 1,000 participants, each of whom completed a survey and were also invited to a more in-depth interview. You can access the full report in the episode description. Here's one of the most shocking statistics from that report. 97% of the 1,000 professionals in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s said they wanted to do more meaningful work. Let me say that again. 97% wanted to do more meaningful work. Wow. In the in-depth interviews, I dug into that. And the concept of being bored at work came up again and again. But they weren't talking about everyday boredom. You know, that sort of low-level annoyance of being trapped somewhere without anything interesting to do. I was seeing too many midlife professionals suffering from chronic, debilitating boredom at work and just accepting it. I'd hear things like, "Work's not supposed to be joyful, Lucia, is it?" And that was like a red rag to a bull for someone who hosts a podcast called Joy at Work. I saw them make brave attempts to self-soothe, to quiet a growing urgency to do something different. But over and over again, I saw brilliant, smart humans ignore this boredom for months, years, and sometimes even decades, until it began to seriously impact their work-life happiness, their physical health, and their mental well-being. Yet, it was complicated. Not everyone was experiencing the same kind of boredom. So I kept digging. And what I discovered when I kept digging were 3 distinct versions, types of chronic boredom. And these exist on a completely different level in a completely different planet to everyday boredom. Chronic boredom seemed to be a slow black fog that descends on your work week, leaving you sluggish, stale, and utterly exhausted. And over time, it seemed to start to ooze into weekends. You know, that Sunday night pissed offness? Way beyond Sunday night blues. That's boredom communicating. I heard people say, "There's nothing that can be done about it, Lucia. Work's just work. It's boring. It's safe, but it pays the bills." And I know a little about this myself because I've lived it. I don't remember exactly when it started, but over the years, I slipped into a kind of boredom coma. I was working hard, but I'd stopped caring. And I used to care a lot. I was just exhausted, going through the motions with barely any energy left for the special people in my life. I lived that way for maybe 2 years. Then one morning I woke up and thought, I can't do this anymore. So I quit. Said goodbye to a 20-year career, spent my savings and went back to uni. It felt reckless, risky, and it was. I had 2 kids and a mortgage. But by that point, I felt like I had no other choice. What I now know is this: when you understand your particular type of boredom, there are ways to bring joy back to your work, so you don't have to burn everything to the ground and start over. So here's what I want you to know. I've identified 3 types of boredom that impact midlife professionals. If you experience one, over time, it chips away at your work satisfaction. If you experience 2, it's like a sledgehammer to your joy at work. And if you are living with 3 for a long time, It's like a wrecking ball crushing your happiness at work. Here they are. Number 1, boredom from lack of novelty. You've been in the same spot for too long and you've grown stale. Sometimes that means you just need a new job, or new people, or new projects, or new environments, or new locations. Yeah, this is the easiest and quickest type of boredom to fix if you catch it early. But the longer it goes on, the more attached you become to your comfort zone and the familiarity of it all. 2, boredom from dissatisfaction. This type isn't about what work you do, it's about how you do your work. The day-to-day activities drain you. Even when you do a brilliant job, there's no sense of reward or energy. In my work, we shift that by discovering your superpowers. The 3 or 4 things that you do that feel great inside your body, that you can do easily and lightly, that give you a deep sense of inner satisfaction. And number 3, boredom from meaninglessness. This shows up when the problems you're working on don't align with what you find meaningful. I see this often in clients who want to do work that matters more, that feels more fulfilling, or that makes more of a difference. But a word of warning, do not assume that this means you need to work for a charity or an NGO or to give it all up and become a volunteer. Yeah, it's much more nuanced. It depends on your values, the problems that excite you, and how you want to live your life now, in the near future, and in the far future. Here's the good news. It is possible to eliminate or radically reduce chronic boredom, to reclaim your personal joy at work, to design a working life that fits you and feels meaningful, satisfying, and yes, even fun. Because work should add to the spice of life, not suck the joy from it. And the workplace is evolving, and it needs experienced minds like yours, but fully engaged, solving important problems in ways that light you up with energy, satisfaction, and meaning, potentially forever. And that sounds like joy at work to me.